Hello students. So you all know that UPSC interviews are scheduled from 26th of April and you must be preparing sincerely and seriously for the upcoming interviews. As we all know, it is no small feat to clear prelims exam and the mains exam and reach the last and the final stage of civil services. It is like a dream come true even to appear in interviews. And to clear the complete process of civil services and become a civil servant is no less than a Herculean task, right? You would be getting ample opportunities in your career. It is a quite enriching career which not only grooms you as a civil servant but also grooms you as an individual, as a person. It gives you a chance to gain lot of wisdom and lot of experience in life. So at the end, the whole life is justified, right? Having said this, now come to the serious business of the interview. It is quite important that you must chalk out a plan and strategy for the interview, and for those who are going to appear in their first interview, and for those, especially those who have appeared in consecutive interviews but are not able to score a decent amount of marks. So now the question arises, what is decent? I would say anything above 170 would be a decent score in civil services interviews, right? Anything above that is a bonus and it increases your chance to be in the top 100 and to get a dream service, right? That is the top 4 services basically. So as said, that you must have a good plan, a good strategy, what all is required to clear this final stage. And what normally people do at this time is to go for current affairs classes, to go for multiple panel mocks. Yes, few things are required, but few things are not required as such. I would suggest from my side, there is no need to go for current affair classes, okay. There is no need to go for let's suppose classes pertaining to your hobbies, classes pertaining to let's say your academic background. It is you who have to think on it, because too much of classes and too much of information can act as an imposed confusion on you, and it can create a confusion in you that there would be too much of information again right before the interview, and you would not be able to give your best on the final day, okay. So what exactly is required now? There would be a question in your mind that what is exactly required to get decent marks. First of all, I would suggest you that go through your DAF. Every word what you have written, as it is said that the interview board would be scrutinizing your DAF minutely. So every word that is written on DAF is of quite importance. You must know at least you must have a fair idea about every word written on DAF, and this is your responsibility. It is good that you give your DAF for profiling and all for a questionnaire. This is good because you would be getting a diversity of questions, but at the same time it is important that you also look out for potential questions. One is this. Second, choose your mocks wisely, the panel mocks, okay. Now, I have seen students, those who give 10, 12, 15 mocks. In my opinion, that is not at all required. You must give anywhere between 5 to 7 mocks and take them quite seriously, as in analyze your performance on the mock and see that what you could have improved. If the recording is available, check the recording, check your facial expressions, check your non-verbal communication, check your verbal communication, because This all are very crucial aspects of the civil services interview. Okay. Then we at Chrome IAS have started individual interview guidance program for this year's interview, right? Then how it differentiates from panel mock? See, you have good opportunities available wherein you can go for panel mocks, provided you choose them wisely. Then, but I believe, and from my experience of civil services interview and of these mocks, what I can say for surely is that even after going for these mocks, there is a gap that remains there, okay, that needs to be filled. Because in panel mocks, see, first of all, let's see the advantage of panel mock then. Dekho, there are three major advantages of panel mocks. One, you get the diversity of questions, as 5 people are sitting there. So, learned members, you would be getting a diversity of questions. Second, you would be getting a real feel of your civil services interview, because that is how the settings would be there in UPSC the day of your final interview. 5 people interviewing 1 candidate, right? So, there is an unseen pressure and anxiety in the candidate. So, you get a familiarity with the final event. So, that is equally important. Third is, I have told you in the second point, anxiety management, right? Facing 5 people, because there would be good number of people, those who would be giving their first interview in life. They have not appeared for any job interview as such after graduation. So, there could be any number of reasons. So, it acts as an anxiety management thing, okay. But one of the disadvantages what I feel is, there could be some trivial advantages, more advantages, but keep them aside as of now. One of the disadvantage here is that at times when there is a pressure on the panel that too many people are waiting, everybody would be going. So, what happens, there is not a true analysis of a person, right? They give you a feedback on your knowledge, and which is quite superficial. So, this gap is needed to be filled, and that is why we have come up with individual interview guidance program, that is IIGP. Here there are 3-4 crucial steps. That first, your DEF profiling would be done. In one of the personal settings, you would be getting to know the do's and don'ts of civil services interview, especially for those who are appearing for first interview and those who are not able to cross 130, 140, 150 barrier, right. It is very crucial for those to know some nitty-gritties of the interview, to know some intricacies of the interview, okay. Having said this, the people, those who have not scored in good marks in their earlier attempts, I would suggest you stop being a victim and a prisoner of your past, right. Don't have a preconceived notion that you cannot go beyond 170. You can still go beyond 170, you can reach 190, but with a good amount of practice, okay. You must be told that what are your strengths, how to improve your communication, how to focus upon some non-verbal communication aspects, because the UPSC board, the UPSC chairman will not only be judging your personality, but they would be judging you as a person, whether can you fit as a person in civil service tomorrow. If you are selected, probably will you add some value to the administration and the system of governance that we have in our country. So, it is important to develop certain OLQs in your behavior, officer-like qualities. It is quite important that you learn about some bureaucratic traits You must know how much to speak, how to speak, in what manner, what should be the eye contact. It should not be seen as a stare, right? It should not put them in an uncomfortable situation. At times I have seen that people, after coming from panel mock, they have met me, they have certain doubt raised about themselves, they have certain doubt raised about their personality, right? That I don't know for what reason and for what would have been the circumstances in the panel mock, but they seem to be shattered, right? They seem to be demoralized completely, because there is a thin difference if someone is questioning you and someone asking you questions, right? In the prior part, they basically questioning you as a person, they are questioning your personality. So that raises certain doubt in an individual, and which may have a detrimental effect on the upcoming interview. We must be very mindful that what to take, what suggestions to take, what to incorporate, what qualities to inculcate, and what to ignore, right? At times, that is why it is said ignorance is bliss. Okay, not be too conscious about this thing, right? Don't make this process a complicated one. Okay, you have cleared 2 stages successfully, and I wish that you clear the 3rd stage as well, but you need to practice. You need to practice on certain aspects. And it is a well-known fact that comfort and growth cannot coexist. Come out of your comfort zone. Okay, don't think that you would be going to the final interview with half-cooked preparation and you would score good, because we at this point don't know what our marks in mains are. We never know whether we have cleared the cutoff on margin. We never know, do we have a comfortable let's say edge in mains. We never know. And it is a fact that someone who has cleared the cutoff on the margin, if someone has cleared the cutoff on the margin in mains exam, he or she must get around 210 to 212 marks to appear in the final list. And mind you, this is not an easy task. Okay, so assuming that we did fairly in mains exam, let's start our preparation on a sincere note, where we stand a good chance from to clear this stage. One more thing from my side is that देखो, हम सबको पता होता है what are our weaknesses. We all know that कि हमारी क्या weaknesses है, हमारी क्या strength हैं, right? In 25 years, if we are not knowing this, probably we are missing on life. Okay, so running away from your problems and running away from your weaknesses perhaps is a race that you can never win. I would say take them head on, work upon them, discuss with good people, those who can give you right suggestions. Okay, because lack of guidance and too much of guidance, both are harmful. Okay, you must focus upon right and optimal amount of guidance. At times what happens, with too much of guidance and with too much of suggestions, we become artificial in front of board. So this element of artificiality is again somehow can compromise our marks in interview.